Let me in. Take that pain. Take it. Take it. You pushing me back? No.
Don't run from me. Do not fucking run from me. You already knew the type of nigga I am before you got here. Don't play. Relax them legs and submit to me.
Let's go! I don't usually see the whole.
Burna Boy has started to feel the heat with fresh new tapes of him and Diddy coming out every minute. With the Nigerian rapper far away from the feds, it's unclear how his future will tread given his suspicious closeness with Diddy. Have you guys heard the leaked audio? That definitely sounds like Diddy doing something really nasty to Burna. Where and how this audio came up is still a mystery, but Burna and his legal team are desperately trying to cover it up every moment as we speak. In the midst of all this, another Nigerian rapper who goes by Speed Darlington made a massive revelation on Burna Boy's and Diddy's relationship, exposing how Burna had bent himself to Diddy to get to the top of the music industry.
Since all this whole PDD thing they go on, I just the reason. After PDD, say I inspire him, but my Igbo brothers advise me not to go near him until he approached me. And I listened and didn't go around him. The next thing I noticed is Faz, the bad guy, and the Burna Boy. Everybody just they rush, they go America to snap with Diddy that year. But you know, after Burna post his picture with Diddy, the next year I've been at the same particular year, Burna won Grammy. You understand me? All I they do since in Aichiche. So I just they wonder, Burna Boy, this video, I they ask you question. Don't get offended. Now question I they ask. How many oil did you drop for your nyash before them give you that trophy? Burna, how many oil them rob for your nyash before? Burna, I'm asking you serious question. Them say them see 1,000 bottles of baby oil for Diddy house. And I know say after you snap with Diddy, you won Grammy. How many? I see magazine. You know they put oil for my body before they go give me kiniko. I just collect them off of merit. You blow after you snap with P. Diddy. You was under his arms, sucking up to Black America. Burna, come to this comment section and clear something. We want to know.
This guy seems to have been in the know-how about Burna that he disappeared from existence the very next week. Darlington was declared missing, and no one had a clue where he was. And as investigations ensued, his mother begged Burna on Twitter to release her son from his custody. The request has gone viral, with many openly accusing Burna of using force to cover up voices against him in the industry.
Good day, everyone. Good day, Nigerians. My name is Miss Queen. I am Darlington's mother. I just get information that my son is missing. Speed Darlington is missing. His gate man called my family and notified my family that there's a video Darlington made and put on internet about Burna Boy. Have mercy on my son. Forgive me, please. Burna Boy, I'm on my knees. I'm begging. Tamper justice with mercy. Forgive Darlington. Forgive Darlington. Forgive Darlington. I am begging. Nigerians, please come to Darlington's aid. Please. You people, all Nigerians, all Darlington's fans should join me to beg to beg Burna Boy, please. Burna Boy, please. Tamper justice with mercy. Forgive Darlington. This is me, Darlington's biological mother. I am begging. I don't know what to say other than I am begging. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a mother. Please. He's my only son. Forgive him. Forgive him. I'm just asking for forgiveness. So he notified my family that Burna Boy came with his team and they picked Darlington up from his house. Please. Please. Darlington is my only son. Darlington is one and only son I have. I am begging my fellow Nigerians, please, everyone should help me to beg Burna Boy. Burna Boy, please. My name is Miss Queen. Burna Boy, I'm begging you. My knees on the ground. Please, I am begging you, Burna Boy. Tamper justice with mercy, please. Tamper justice with mercy.
The relationship between Burna and Diddy can be described as a sort of mentorship, similar to how Usher and Montana were under the music mogul. Back in 2020, Burna collaborated with Diddy to produce his Grammy Award-winning album, Twice as Tall, an album which received enormous funding and support from Diddy. They have been spotted multiple times, openly being comfortable with each other, but since the rumors have been running rampant, Burna has been actively defending himself against any sort of relationship.
It was executive produced by Mama Burna, but also Diddy, which is incredible. I mean, what was working with, an American hip hop icon and mogul like Diddy? Like, what was that like?
It was on Zoom.
Because of the pandemic?
Yeah. So it probably wasn't what you're thinking it was. So yeah, I mean, it's great, it was an experience, a connection got to be made, and more importantly than everything, a friendship was established, so yeah, that's kind of the best part of the experience, Yeah.
My brother, see it? Yeah. Come to London to bust you across your head. What's up? Hit me, all right?
But the truth of the matter is, Burna has not even a single Grammy after almost 9 nominations since the last one he won with Diddy. Sources say that Burna desperately tried to unknot him from the mess with Diddy after he got what he wanted, and Diddy did not take him, rejecting his advances lightly. This is what Diddy posted on his Instagram story, which he took down later, and it's clear that none other than Burna is being mentioned. I helped you win your first and only Grammy Award, which I did out of kindness, and somehow you thought you could win another without my help? Oh, okay. Burna even went on to break down the whole Grammy situation and openly addressed that Diddy was indeed gay.
Is everybody talking about me? Me taking a picture with Diddy means nothing. I had nothing to do with this guy. I go to snap a picture with Team does not mean that's a link up, man. I have nothing come on with anybody, understand? If he bosses anybody's ass, it does not mean that he did same to me. That was my first time of getting alerted that he is a gay. My first Grammy was known that I opened my body, understand, to get him in understand. Bro, I'm not the gay. You guys should stop. Talking trash about me, I'm off of this nonsense. We do link up there with the big faces in the stand. Does not mean we are involved in those trash. I love you guys, so I'm still steak on the bone. No fire burns me. I'm the fire still. The legendary Burna Boy. I don't take trash. Yeah, that's trash, man. You call me Oluwa Bona. And you see me get the almighty Grammy when your part was that. Diddy came over me before I won this. That's a lie. Instagram, Reels.
This is not the first time Diddy has been outed with the fruity allegations. Lawyer Tony Busby, who recently revealed the number of victims in Diddy's case to a jaw-dropping 120, is out with new list of A-list celebrities that were in the know-how and how most of them conveniently ignored Diddy's advances on upcoming stars and men.
Lawyer Tony Busby, who allegedly has over 120 cases he's prepping against Diddy, says that other big celebrities are set to be sued and has sent demand letters. One of those celebrities is probably not Bono, as this clip has gone viral where he denies Sean Combs, and oh my goodness, is it awkward. Tony Busby's out there doing the rounds, and he gave an interview to TMZ that I wanted to share with you where he explains a little bit more about the big celebrities that are set to be named. Also, we're going to talk about a news source that spoke to people about how powerful Diddy was and what he was capable of and why so many were afraid to cross him. And yes, we got one celebrity, Bono of U2. Look at this awkward moment where Diddy comes in for a kiss, it seems, and Bono is just not having it. And you can see how disappointed almost Diddy is and the awkwardness of it all. Yikes. It is just a swing and a miss. How immediate Bono's like, nope. Like he sort of knew, wouldn't even really look him in the eyes. He was sort of just there, which is what I feels like happens a lot. Where it's like, yeah, thanks. Okay, bye. I'm on to the next thing. Props to Bono. I love Bono. Love you too. And glad to see he wasn't taking any second of it. Let's go over to lawyer Tony Busby, though, who is saying that other celebrities should still be very nervous. Here's an interview. They asked him if there is a cases pending that are going to be filed this upcoming week, and will any of them have any celebrities mentioned?
I think I'll let the lawsuits speak for themselves. I don't expect there to be anything. You know, everyone's focused on what other celebrities were involved. You know, who's going to be named, who's going to be outed. I don't expect that to happen this week. I'm hoping to file some lawsuits this week. They of course will include Mr. Combs and some corporate entities. But we want to make sure that you know, if we name individuals beyond Mr. Combs, that we make sure that we've done our homework, because it's going to create a firestorm. We understand that. So we're going to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's.
They asked, well, I noticed you said next week. Does that not next week? Does that mean they're coming in the future?
In the weeks coming after this one?
I would expect so. I really don't want to get into a situation where people are, you know, if I don't file a lawsuit next week, then, you know, there's that creates a media frenzy. The truth is, I want to be clear about something. If you were attending one of these parties, if you will, and you attended before, or you knew what was going to happen, that is, you knew that a particular drug was being used in drinks that was causing people to be coerced and taken advantage of, and you were there in the room, or you participated, or you watched it happen and didn't say anything, or you helped cover it up, in my view, you have a problem. And as we file each one of these cases, we're going to make an effort to resolve them on the front end. But failing that, we're going to file public lawsuits and pursue these cases aggressively. So who will be named, when they will be named, all that will come out in due course. But the bottom line is, you know, I want to be clear about the scope of this. A lot of people attended these parties. A lot of people saw this activity going on. A lot of people allowed it to go on, said nothing, didn't intervene, maybe benefited from it, profited from it. All of these individuals and entities, in my view, have exposure here.
Are we?
Good. I love hearing that, because as they should face the wrath of all this, because they were clearly there and shouldn't have been there. And honestly, a lot of you, after watching the Kevin Hart video yesterday, which if you missed, go check it out. A lot of you in the comments saying, Andy, you're not paying enough attention. Kevin Hart is guilty, guilty, guilty. Now, I'm not going to say that. I can't say that, guys. But a lot of you feeling Kevin Hart's one of those types of people who must have known what was going on at these parties and been complicit. Who else do you think should be worried? I want to hear your thoughts down. Let's continue this interview.
Of Diddy.
I would expect so, yes.
Have you sent any demand letters out to anybody other than Diddy saying, here's what you've done, we want to settle with you, or we're going to file a lawsuit? Have you sent any to, say, other celebrities beyond Diddy?
We have, and I want to explain that process because it's important.
That's important. This is important, but he's confirming, celebrities are aware and know what's coming. And some of these people may be trying to settle. These are civil lawsuits. Doesn't mean that this isn't all going to still go to the feds as well.
You know, in every single case, especially cases like this, we collect our data, collect our evidence, do our due diligence, spend time with the victim, and then because it's in the best interest of the victim, we attempt to resolve these matters without the filing of a public lawsuit. And we have done that already. We've done that, I would say, with a handful of individuals, many of which you've heard of before, and we'll continue to do that. That's just the standard process that every lawyer in the United States who handles these types of cases uses, because it's the right way to do it.
So he's basically acknowledging we've already settled some of these cases with celebrities. They've paid out, is what he's saying. So some of these people are probably going to get away with it. In fact, I've been hearing this, that many celebrities are paying to get away from these cases. His confirmation of that is pretty massive. But this idea that, of course, these celebrities are going to be paying off to avoid it is not a surprise to me. Now, the question is, will we ever hear it? I hope we will, but we may not.
The lawyer had also come out with a fresh new interview on CNN, detailing the entire process that Diddy used to drug and intoxicate victims. The interview also states that Diddy had freakishly done this to a then 16-year-old boy and multiple minors. Their interview is a brutal dissection of the man that is Diddy.
Musician Sean Diddy Combs facing a new round of serious and disturbing allegations. The rapper and record label executive has been accused of assault in 6 new lawsuits, all filed anonymously at this point. The alleged victims include men, women, and a teenage boy. The lawsuit says Combs told them, that then 16-year-old boy, that the alleged assault was a rite of passage to becoming a music star. That is the allegation from him. CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister is joining us now from Los Angeles. What more can you tell us about what is in these lawsuits? And at this point, we don't know the names of those who are making these accusations.
That is correct. These were all filed anonymously as either Jane Does or John Does. There are 4 male accusers who filed as John Does, and there are 2 female accusers who filed as Jane Does. Now, these lawsuits, Sarah, range from 1995 to 2021. There are a lot of similarities throughout these lawsuits. All of the accusers are alleging that they were assaulted by Combs, and half of the accusers alleged that they were drugged. Now, you mentioned that one of these accusers alleges that he was a minor at the time. He says that he was 16 years old. As you said, that Combs allegedly told him that this was a way to break into the industry when he assaulted him at a white party. I want to walk you through some of the other lawsuits. One female accuser alleges that she was 19 years old at the time. She was a college student. Another woman says that she was at a party in 1995 for a music video. I want to read you part of her lawsuit. It says, quote, "When plaintiff attempted to pull away, he violently struck her, slamming her head against the wall and causing her to fall to the floor. Disoriented and in pain, plaintiff tried to escape, but Combs hit her again, making it nearly impossible for her to move." That is when she alleges that she was. The most recent accusation coming from a man who says that in 2021 that he was actually flown out by Combs's businesses and transported from the airport to a party in New York. That is where he said that he was drugged, and then that he claims that he was sodomized. So very graphic details in all of these lawsuits. Now, you may remember that earlier this month, an attorney from Houston named Tony Busby, he came forward in a press conference. He said that he was representing at least 120 new accusers, that he planned to file lawsuits for all of them. These are the 6 first lawsuits to come from this attorney, so they are all represented by him. Now, I spoke to him earlier this month about the lawsuits that he said would be coming. Let's take a look at what he told me about some of those similar accusations.
The white party comes up quite often, but there was a lot of partying going on. Album release parties, after parties, club parties, parties after club. I mean, you name it. These were people that were there, that were allegedly drugged and then allegedly passed around, woke up the next morning with just completely clueless about what had happened to them, and just in utter shock and injured even.
Now, when I spoke to that attorney, he told me that he did intend to file lawsuits for all of his 120 clients that he says that he is representing, Sarah.
Has Combs or his attorneys responded to any of the allegations in these new lawsuits yet?
Yes, I obtained a statement from his attorneys yesterday. They say that that attorney is simply looking for publicity. I want to read you part of their statement, Sarah. They say, quote, Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts, their legal defenses, and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs has never assaulted anyone, adult or minor, man or woman. So you see there, not responding to the specific allegations in these 6 lawsuits, but denying full stop that beyond even these 6 lawsuits that he ever assaulted anyone.
Amidst all the commotion, we are hearing news that Diddy's lawsuit hearing will be in May 2025, almost 8 months after his arrest date. Since the judge denied bail to Diddy, he possibly will be in jail till then.
As you all know, I made a request today for what we were calling a gag order, and I'm not going to walk out of court and do anything other than live up to that.
We may be hearing from the attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs a lot less as we move toward a trial in his trafficking case. In court Thursday, we learned more about his defense team's push to exclude a damning piece of evidence. We learned about the trial date, the evidence found inside the hip-hop mogul's mansions, and the support that he is getting from his family. We got a full recap of the court proceedings and a lot more. Well, what we're going to talk about now is the fact that Combs and his substantial defense team, they were back in court on Thursday in front of yet another new judge, Arun Subramanian. He is going to be the judge presiding over Combs' trial as of now. And by the way, it is now scheduled for May 2025, which we're going to talk about. Now, I got to call this out. There's no recording equipment allowed in New York's federal courthouses. There are no cameras. It is annoying. Trust me, I could talk all about this. But anyway, that's why we haven't seen video of Sean Combs in court or heard audio of him speaking to the judge. But we did have a correspondent in the courtroom. We're going to hear that in just a moment. But here's another thing to note. A lot of people are asking, why didn't they discuss the issue of bail this week? Well, we know there was a petition filed for a third crack at it, but that is not with this court. That's actually going on simultaneously in the Court of Appeals. This is a higher court, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. They're going to decide if Combs should be granted bail. Now, Combs' attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, filed a motion for pretrial release earlier in the week with the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, and Shapiro opened the motion by writing, "This case does involve extreme and unusual circumstances, but none that typically foreclose bail or warrant forcing Sean Combs to defend himself from a prison cell." What is extreme and unusual about this case is that Mr. Combs was detained immediately after he was charged, even though he has been in the spotlight his entire life, with many of his purported antics and episodes being widely reported in the press and known to law enforcement authorities. Indeed, hardly a risk of flight, he is a 54-year-old father of 7, a U.S. citizen, an extraordinarily successful artist, businessman, philanthropist, and one of the most recognizable people on earth. The sensationalism surrounding his arrest has distorted the bail analysis. Mr. Combs was not released pending trial, even though he offered to comply with restrictive conditions that would have prevented any conceivable risk of flight or danger. And talking about that, Combs, by the way, had offered a $50 million bail package, putting up his Miami home and his mother's home as collateral. He promised to stay in close contact with authorities, only speak to certain people, even offered to have a third-party security team to monitor his house if he should be under home confinement. But 2 different judges denied him bail, so Combs has been behind bars since September 16th at the Metropolitan Detention Center out in Brooklyn. And one of the reasons that was cited for keeping Combs locked up is his alleged influence and reach, because prosecutors claim that Combs had engaged in witness tampering and possible intimidation. His legal counsel says that is not true. They concede he spoke with people about the civil lawsuits that he was facing, but say he wasn't aware that the Southern District of New York was investigating him. And once he did realize he was being investigated, the appeal motion says he made sure to stop contact with these people. The motion reads, although the government vaguely described contacts with 2 grand jury witnesses, it proffered no evidence of any threats or intimidation. The government could only state there were 14 total contacts between Mr. Combs and one witness and another witness who was contacted multiple times. Defense counsel explained these contacts involved no obstruction or witness tampering. For example, one witness contacted Mr. Combs, not the other way around. She reached out to Mr. Combs and told him, "I'm a grand jury witness." After Mr. Combs informed defense counsel, he was instructed not to contact the witness anymore and didn't. And Shapiro argues that the prosecution didn't meet its burden to hold Combs until trial. Days later, there was an update that was filed with the court saying it is hereby ordered that the motion for bail is referred to a 3-judge panel. The request for immediate release pending decision on the bail motion by a 3-judge panel is denied. The motion to seal is granted. So basically, Combs can't be released immediately. They have to wait until the judges hear the arguments and then they'll decide on what to do. Now, there was no information provided when that might happen or when the case is going to be heard in court, but we'll continue to follow it. All right, so now we're going to talk about Thursday's hearing for Combs' criminal case. And again, he's charged with racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution. The core accusation, again, is that Combs used coercion, intimidation, force to get people to participate in these freak-offs. So to talk about everything, I want to bring in criminal defense attorney Natalie Whittingham-Burrell, who I love having here on Sidebar. Her window is making her look extra angelic today. She was sent from the heavens to talk about Sean Combs. So good to see you.
See you, Jesse. Thank you for having me on.
Can we talk about the bail motion, the 3rd bail motion? I want to start there before we even talk about what happened Thursday. Does he have a shot? I think his attorneys raised some good arguments.
I think they raised good arguments as well. Maybe this will be 3rd time's the charm, because the difference between this bail motion and the prior 2 is that this one really does get to the heart of what the court was concerned about, which was witness intimidation. And so when you have this dangerousness assessment, it's not just a danger that you will harm people or harm yourself, but a danger that you will interfere in how they conduct the case. And those were good arguments. I did not know that after he found out that they were grand jury witnesses, he had no further contact with them, and that when the contact was happening, it was more in relation to the civil cases. I don't know how they're going to prove that up at the hearing, but that is a good rebuttal to the prosecution's argument that he was contacting grand jury witnesses, because it is unique that there's a civil and a criminal case that are multiple civil cases and one criminal case that are tracking along the same time frame. So it's a good argument. I'll admit it's a really good argument.
So what do you guys think? Do you think Burna Boy will ever speak out on the truth behind his Grammy and rat out Diddy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any new content. Until next time, stay real, fam.